I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of today's agenda.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We don't have minutes, and we don't have claims, so let's go to appointment of board members for county representation.
All right, Lance, I'm gonna read these off in order. So I'd make a motion to appoint Renee McClellan as the primary for Emergency Management Commission with BJ Hoffman as the alternate. Lance Granzo as the primary for Hardin County Solid Waste Commission with Hoffman as the alternate. I'd make a motion, in that motion, Renee McClellan, EMS Council primary with Hoffman as an alternate. Iowa Workforce, Lance Granzo, Micah McClellan with BJ as the alternate. Region 6, Granzo with Hoffman as the alternate. Second Judicial District, McClellan as the primary, Hoffman as the alternate. Heartland Risk Pool with Lance as the primary, Jolene Peters as the alternate. Juvenile Detention, Granzo as the primary, Hoffman as the alternate. North Iowa Response Group, Hoffman as the primary, Roger Sutton as the alternate. Hardin County Fire Association, McClellan as the primary, Granzo as the alternate. 911 representative, McClellan as the primary, Granzo as the alternate. Board of Health, Hoffman as the primary, Granzo as the alternate. DCAT Board, McClellan as the primary, Granzo as the alternate. Greenbelt Home Care, Hoffman as the primary, Granzo as the alternate. Central Iowa Community Services, Hoffman as the primary, and Iowa River Trail, McClellan as the primary.
Okay, I will second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? These are all the commissions that we serve other than just sit on this board with a lot of our 2080s and anything else?
No, sir.
Then I will enter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the 26th attendance at the Iowa State Association County meetings. So I skipped something up.
So, Lance, I'd make a motion authorizing attendance by county employees to meetings set up by the Iowa State Association of Counties for the year 2026, and that the expenses of those attending be paid by the county. The courthouse shall remain open on those days of the meetings.
I will second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next are the holiday closings.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the following as holidays. Martin Luther King Day, January 19th, 2026. Memorial Day, May 25th, 2026. Independence Day will be shown on or reserved for July 3rd, 2026. Labor Day, September 7th, 2026. Veterans Day, November 11th, 2026. Thanksgiving, November 26th and 27th, 2026. Christmas, December 24th and 25th, 2026. And New Year's Day, January 1st, 2027.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next are the legal newspapers.
Lance, I'd make a motion to name the following newspapers, legal publications for 2026. Time Citizen, Ackley World Journal, and Eldora Herald Ledger.
I will second it.
Absolutely.
Or six, yeah, so.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is appointments.
Okay, so the first I have is motion to appoint Don England to the County Conservation Board for a term of 5 years commencing January 8th, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? in all these appointments, any new appointments, they would have to have a class taken within 90 days. I believe they're all aware. If they're not, we need to make sure they are.
The chapter 21, open meetings law.
Yeah.
Class is what Lance is referencing.
Yep, otherwise there's penalties that go to people. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Next I have is appointment of Trent Stalzer to the Planning Commission Board for a 5-year term commencing January 8th, 2026.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? There's still one more opening there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next I have is appointment of Jim Sweeney to the Zoning Adjustment Board for a 5-year term commencing January 8th, 2026.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next I have is the appointment of Amanda Winters and John Lynn to the Board of Health for a 3-year term commencing January 8th, 2026.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Still has one more opening there. Well, I'll let you go on.
Yeah, so, we are looking at, shrinking down the Board of Health to a 5-person board.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Next I have are the individuals to appoint to the County Condemnation Board for a 1-year term. Representing farmers, Everett Harms, Steve Perry, Glenn Carpenter, Mark Baldwins. Representing the real estate, arm of that body, Ed Bear, Brad Fielen, Keita Reynolds, Norm Houston. And
Leon's.
yeah, and yep. Representing property owners, Steve Manader, Scott Earl Williams, Chris Renahan, Jeremiah Andrews, Lisa Lawler, Robert Nazario, and representing business people, John Zosky, Roseanne Primus, Greg Salvo, Brent Perry, Russ Reynolds.
Okay, I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this? A lot of these are the repeats from last year. People haven't asked to come off. We just reappointed them.
Correct.
We are still looking for people in all categories.
Yeah. The one thing that is hard when people find out the roles and responsibilities with this, with the condemnation board, they hesitate to want to be a part of that right now, so.
But we still have openings in all fields. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Next I have is the
Motion
appointment.
carries.
Oh, sorry. Next I have is approve the appointments of Christine Burks and Edna Lyman to the Pioneer Cemetery Commission for 3-year terms commencing January 8th, 2026.
Second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Which carries.
Next I have is appointment of Paul Martin as a weed commissioner for a 1-year term commencing March 1st, 2026.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Next I have is motion to set Wednesday at 9 a.m. for the regular board meetings of the Hardin County Supervisors. And if that falls on a holiday, it will be canceled for that week.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? We passed a resolution prior, if there's not a whole lot on the agenda, that the chair has the authorization to cancel a meeting. The only time you'd really have an event on that is if all we're doing is simple claims.
Right.
I mean, some of these meetings are 2-minute 2 to 3 minute meetings. And if that could cancel, it could save a little money on the publications and save a little time for Ann. One thing that was asked by Jolene was that we do it early enough that they can adjust it for claims.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
The next I have is a motion to approve the medical examiner agreement with Dr. Curtis O'Laughlin and Dr. Thomas Waters, effective January 8th, 2026 through January 1st, 2027, at a rate of $335 a case plus mileage.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I changed the physician dollar amount to match the MEI amount at $335.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Next I have is the motion
Motion carries, I'm sorry.
motion to approve the medical examiner investigator services agreements with Marla Williams, Eric Eugenio, and Thomas Creighton, effective January 8th, 2026 through January 1st, 2027, at a rate of $335 a case plus mileage.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Before we go on, there were three of them of the appointments. We just covered those. Greenbelt Home Care would have been covered on the first portion when you were appointed.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, if you look at the agenda, there were three of them up there, but we haven't covered now. All right, now to the depositories.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2026-1, naming depositories per Iowa Code 12C.
I will second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Those will be on file in the auditor's office for anybody to review. The county's funds are spread across multiple banking entities across the county.
Any other discussion? Michelle does a good job at that. No more discussion. All in favor say no. Roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next, I'll make a motion to approve the investment policy as presented.
Second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye. Motion carries.
Next, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2026-2, the construction evaluation resolution per Iowa Code 459.34 sub 3.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? This is us doing the matrix.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Oops, I'm sorry, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
William,
Aye. Motion carries.
Next I have is resolution a motion to approve resolution 2026-3. It's the embargo resolution that gives empowers the county engineer to embargo roads.
I will second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Joe said he'd stand up and give a speech on that.
There you go. Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
William,
Aye. Motion carries. That was the road closure.
Yep. Next, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2026-04 for the temporary road closures in Hardin County.
I will second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Joe, you ready for your speech again?
Yeah, it'll be short and sweet.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next, I would make a motion to approve the Title VI non-discrimination agreement and assurance agreement for 2027.
I will second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Joe, this one's interesting.
Yeah, I can go in depth on that one. That's
You look at numbers, not
a
people.
lot of paperwork.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
William,
Aye. Motion carries.
And I don't have a copy of that proclamation for human trafficking.
Nope, we ain't,
So-
just remove that right now.
So I'm
I
gonna,
did not get that.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to table the proclamation for National Human Trafficking Month, until a later meeting.
Okay, I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is the acknowledgement of the sheriff's report for December.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the sheriff's report for December of 2026.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I have no change of statuses. Yeah, other business.
I had one thing, I just wanna, if Taylor was here, but I'll convey it here, Joe. I appreciate secondary roads crews work last couple snowstorms where it's been kind of hit and miss where I didn't see a whole lot of them, but it seems like the weather kind of bypasses me, Joe, and I think kind of bypassed you a little bit too compared to what Michelle had in Ackley, so,
Yeah, it's
But-
kind of hit and miss.
yeah, but I appreciate the work they've done. It's been a little different this winter, so,
Yeah, pass it along.
yeah,
And it seems to hit the weekends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so appreciate their time and commitment to, taking care of business on the weekends.
Any other business? Public comments?
None.
None?
I have one, but good.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
Morning, my name is Phil Getkin. I live in Iowa Falls, here to talk about EMS. I am a supporter of it. I'm a certified EMT. And in the last 5 years, I've served on Gowry's ambulance crew in Webster County. The last couple of years, we went through the process of the essential service thing and it's passed. I don't know what's going on here. I'm in supportive of it, but I thought maybe some of the things that we experienced there the last few years might be helpful here. If approved, it ends up being an extra line on property tax statements that people get, which means it is completely under the same review and audit process as the cities, the whole thing is in there. The big surprise that we got was, if you have multiple services in your county, the tax money received needs to be appropriated to the townships that are covered by each individual service. It is, the only way that you can mix it all together is if you have only one service in the county, and that's Calhoun County has huge problems because of that. The biggest thing that helped us selling it to the public, if you're promoting it, is when we talked about the tax rate, and we went to the top end, we went to 75 cents on a per thousand. You need to point out how the rollback works. In Webster County, it wasn't $75 a thousand, it was $42 and change because of the rollback, and it just seemed the public's thing was, oh, it's not 75, it's half that. I'm good with that. And it was supported because it was presented that way. The biggest struggle for the committee was Webster County is, and these numbers are rough, 30,000 people and 25,000 of them live in Fort Dodge. And Fort Dodge Fire runs the EMS out of Fort Dodge, and they really thought they were going to be able to run every dollar, and it does not work that way. One difficulty we had, a little town Otho had first responders on their fire department, but didn't have an ambulance. The whole process was moving, and they brought in an ambulance after the budget was done, and it was not possible to be able to divert money to them until the next time there was a budgeting period. The thing that really helped was when the small services, and there's 4 main services in Webster, was the fact that the area you covered, the tax dollars were assigned to you, and it's just listed out. If you have a service that covers outside of the county, the service gets the money. But if their out of county area is not essential service, they're not collecting dollars there, they're only collecting it in the Hardin County townships. As I pointed out, I'm a certified EMT. My wife Lisa and I moved to Iowa Falls Thanksgiving time. And I just heard that this thing was coming up. EMS is something I have a passion for. I would recommend that we do this, that you go for the maximum dollars because it isn't that much on a tax bill. And things are gonna change a lot in 5 years as we become more and more rural. It gets harder to find people to volunteer in the small services. We're experiencing that already. So the other thing that I don't have details on is where some money can be used for payroll. It can be used for certain kinds of, can you use it for a building? Yes. Can you use it for an ambulance? No, there's way too many grants for that. Those are little things that are written in there just to look in what different services might think they're gonna do with it ahead of time. That's all I have unless you have any questions.
I do, so I, during our last tax time, since you're new to the county, I keep these fun
Okay.
posters, so I had to explain that
Mhm.
if EMS as a central service, becomes a reality, there'll be a new taxation over in this box. And so, last time during our tax hearings, it came up that everybody wants lower property tax, but they don't want to sacrifice anything. And so it's going to definitely be a hurdle to overcome as, I believe that, EMS is an essential thing. Having been a consumer of EMS and a provider, so I see it just like you. I'd like to say that I called you and had you come down here today because one of the other things I do give you credit for is from your standpoint is to having seen why the townships are so important to involve in this.
Mhm.
We did get some pushback when we brought up making townships have just as big a vote or an equitable vote as a city.
Mhm.
So, we're a little different from Webster County and, the Fort Dodge aspect of, 80% of population, is, in that one
Right.
metropolitan
And I don't know
area.
how that breaks down.
Right.
At all yet.
But those are all the things that I think, Bill, that we have to engage, the people that end up passing these levies, getting our townships, our cities.
Mhm.
Those people that we're, and the county voting those people in to make decisions, your taxation with representation. So
Mhm.
I couldn't agree more with getting the townships involved.
Mhm.
Figuring out how to make the first responders that are, kind of your triage and Band-Aids and, early access, how we keep them viable, because right now they have no way to bill. And a set of pads for, an AED or defibrillator,
It's 3 digits.
yeah.
It's big money.
So to, keep them in business so they can provide a service along with recruiting and retaining the volunteers is very, very big. And so that's why, I'm really steadfast in making sure our township trustees have a voice in this. We definitely want the EMS providers to, give them their input and advice because every township's a little different. And so, you bring up great points, and everything that we, or I'm hoping for in this process, I think you laid out, very well, Phil. So,
One thing that, just in the things that you said, BJ, one of the things that come back to my mind just now was by having not just the board of directors in each township, but by having some of the people on those individual
Yeah.
services, knowing what's going on and having them involved in doing the presentations. I did 2 presentations in my service district to churches on a Sunday morning.
yeah,
And they didn't give me an agenda, and I got up and I listed everything out and I said, look, we're struggling for money. When you call me, I wanna come. You gotta make sure I can
Yeah.
get there and I have the equipment. So, and one church, I'm like, a couple people stood up, there was an ovation for it. It passed strong.
mhm,
But I think people need to hear not from Those that are at the top
Right.
end, but those that are on the front line need to be buying into this and need to be help presenting
Yeah.
it, and people will support it.
Yeah, and we had a couple local, one gentleman here in Eldora. He might not, I mean, I think he self-admitted he wasn't real knowledgeable about EMS, but he wants to be out there pushing and marketing this. And that I think is just as valuable as anything going into this. And I know that by code, the supervisor's job is to facilitate the referendum. And we want to do that in a timely fashion. In Hardin County, with all of our townships and, all the first responder groups and EMS transport service and the hospital, getting everybody at the table, that puts a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So I'm assuming that the process is going to take maybe a little longer than people would like, number one. But I think to have fruitful dialogue and meaningful dialogue that is, forecasting, it's going to take a while. It's not going to be solved overnight. And I received emails from a lot of our EMS providers, about how this is going to go into it. Last week, I was appointed to meet with them, and by Iowa code, we need to facilitate that. But it's really going to come down to making sure that the service standards are met, and that somebody in Iowa Falls is receiving the same service as Steamboat Rock as they are in Witten. And that's pretty tough to do in rural.
It's really difficult, because when it passes and it's a mandate, you're mandated to provide it for everybody.
Yeah.
It takes away that thing. Nobody showed up because nobody volunteered to do the ambulance that night, and we ended up calling somebody from a half hour.
Yeah.
Some of that doesn't fly.
No.
We actually got a USDA in Gowrie. We got a USDA grant through our local telephone company, and got a $300,000 grant that was used to build a building. And when we built the building, it has 2 sleeping rooms in it. There's a 3rd bay, even though we only have 2 trucks. And it's being set up, and the discussion in the county is, okay, do we want to have part-time ALS out of Gowrie and have ourselves a paramedic down there? None of us are paramedics. We're all volunteer EMTs there. I'm still saying I got to adjust. I live here now. But it's, I was in that service. It's my base service. I love it. And what it's doing, I've been with people. You talk about you've done it. I've been there where I know after the fact, I just did my job, but that person's still alive, and I've watched people die. So it's needed. It's needed more than just for the next couple of years. And I think we're really going to get to the point to where, without this little bit of help and the law saying it is an essential service that needs to be funded, we're going to find ourselves in some real trouble. And in Hardin County, it could be the southern half of the county that's got a problem because it doesn't have a service that's run by the community as Iowa Falls is. So, I mean, that was the big discussion there. Fort Dodge is in the north half of Webster County. And so I want to see it go through. I want to see it go through smooth. We spent time setting up, because Calhoun County failed a number of times, and we serve part of Calhoun County, so we had an interest in what was going on there. And it was because they weren't open. They wanted all the money controlled and put in one pile and do one service, and they weren't dealing with the volunteers out in the communities that were out on the edge. And we just did it different, and it went through the first time.
I think in this case, in any case with EMS as essential service, open hearts and open minds will prevail.
So anyway,
all right,
that's what I have today.
Thanks,
Thank you for the time.
Yeah.
Hey, before you leave, can you at least sign up for the public comments?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just so we have it on our idea.
Nope, nope, you're fine. I just want it for the record.
Yep.
Were there any other public comments? All right. Well, from there, I have adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
You there, Renee?
Yeah, sorry, I had it on mute for a bit. I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.